Hello, and welcome back everyone to Star Wars Empire at War. Let's get straight into this. Our primary objectives for today is take Deko Nemoidia, so that we do have a forward dreadnaught tier shipyard, which would be excellent. That will take that away from the Republic. We did previously remove an enemy praetor above the, or in orbit of Deko Nemoidia there, which is absolutely brilliant catch for us. We're also going to be looking at taking at least Devon and Joro as well, provided that the enemy does slow down on their own attacks, of course, allowing us to play as we wish. But when is that ever really the case? So what do we actually want to do? We're firstly going to go for Deconemoidia, simply because that is the more useful target. We can see they're building a minor fleet up here, and they do have some ground units there. So we're going to take that as quickly as possible. But I have also just noticed during my preliminary review that we don't have our dreadnaught shipyard up here on Permant after losing that previously, but not to worry. We're also going to start trying to get some sort of fleet together up here as well, so we can reinforce what is a starting fleet over here. It's mostly frigates, of course. So I want to get some sort of munificence, I think, and some real, main centerpiece of that fleet. And really, I want to go for some more providences, because we're not using those really, are we, so far? So we get a couple of those to start with. And I think over here, we'll start making our munificence and recusant destroyers. So we get a recusant destroyer and we get a couple munificence there. That will run us pretty much dry over there, unfortunately. And we will have to press play because we've overproduced some dwarf spider droids over here. So we're just going to have to take these out of our fleet here. So let's press play, take these over, and make sure we're moving in with the correct ship here, and move straight on over to attack Deconemoidia. They do still have the hypervelocity cannon on the ground there, so that will be hitting us, but that should be too much of a bother. Let's get going. So once again, very straightforward indeed. We're going to charge right on in with Grievous, hang back a little bit with a few carriers, of course, and we will make sure we're pushing in roughly in range here with a few larger ships there, just to make sure we can actually deal with these ships very quickly indeed. Going to get some point defense going as well. That'd be lovely indeed. We get our Gazantes in, I think, for this one, and I think we will actually bring in just a few more carriers where possible, and that would be excellent. Couple more frigates where possible. Let's get going. Lovely stuff. So Grievous should be able to rip apart this fleet pretty much by himself, but we want to make sure we're doing very well. That we see the hypervelocity cannon firing out. Who did that hit? It's hitting Grievous. That's absolutely fine. That's who we want it to hit. Get our ships over here in range and attacking the Victory, because that will do a fair bit of damage. So we have destroyed its main frontal guns here, which is excellent. Just getting on top of these assault concussion missile launchers. Excellent stuff there. The ion cannon firing out for us. Brilliant. Let's get moving on to these dreadnoughts. Get our bombers out. Try and sneak past and get onto their starbase there. And of course protect Grievous, but we see barely any fighters coming out against us, so we're just going to bypass this, and that's going to be excellent. So we did actually lose a Munifex light cruiser in that, but that's really not a problem there whatsoever. We are going to bring in pretty much everything we have over here, and from Cola 4 as well, and we're going to bring in some reinforcements from Deconemoidia itself, because we do need some anti-tank over there. We need some stronger anti-tank, I think, since they have reinforced it themselves. Deconemoidia. Let's go straight in before we start taking losses from that ground to orbit gun there. So, what do we want to bring in first? We absolutely need some B2s, bring in a couple units of those, and we are going to bring in some heavy artillery and a good backup. What do we want some backup? We'll get some GATs first. I do like GATs. Very limited, so we have to be careful with those. And we are, when possible, going to build a military field base. So I think the heavy artillery is certainly going to do some heavy lifting for us and really take care of the enemy infantry where possible. They do have some Jedi Knights available, unfortunately. That is very sad to say there. Let's capture this post which we're looking for here and start pushing up very slowly. Here we go, lovely stuff. Let's get anti-infantry gun there, and over here. Start pushing up. We'll unload here to start with. And there we go, we'll build, I think, another anti-infantry gun there. We'll start pushing up to the next command post over here. We will, however, take one unit of droids. Under here, very sneakily, is an abandoned factory of some sort. Don't know what exactly. And that will certainly help protect our gun over here. In fact, I might just move this behind the anti-infantry guns here, so it does have a little bit of help there. And here we go, we can already see TX-130, so we'll pull back a tad there, move up over here, get our B2s on that where possible, thank you. We will screen with B1s, and we will unload here once again, lovely stuff. Where are our dwarf spiders from there? Excellent. Start firing us on this walker over here, the ATXT, that is an anti-vehicle walker primarily. There we go, lovely stuff. Start moving out there. Bring the B2s over to help with these walkers, because they will rip apart our gats, I think, given the opportunity. It's quite a close one there, I believe, actually. And there we go. Let's take this point, capture the base there. And what have we got over here? It was an abandoned vehicle factory giving us access to some AATs, which will help against these bark speeders threatening us there. Let's pull back. No, don't need to pull back from there. We will get an anti-tank gun going there. We'll get a support base here. And I think we are going to get our tactical droid out with his AAT, a single AAT there, interestingly. More B2s and some dwarf spiders, I think, for now, with some light short-range artillery to back us up. So, I think we can push on up over here with the AATs. Let's get our B1s over. We can see the Jedi coming in here, but we do have overwhelming firepower there. A second one coming in. Just our larger guns will deal with that very nicely indeed before it gets in. Set up the light artillery. And that is looking very nice indeed. We're getting some very good support from our heavy artillery. Excellent stuff there. So let's push in with our B1s. Focus the TX-130 there, please. Get our gats in to help out. B2s can come in and deal with these walkers as well. You can see they're doing a fair bit of damage to our front AAT there, actually. But not too much at all. That is excellent stuff. Get us some help. We're being flanked a tad, but our artillery has dealt with that fairly handily. Let's move up to protect our artillery over here and the command post a little better. And we'll start moving up as a massive unit over here. Now we can see some infantry, I believe, coming in here. Actually, no, there we go, another tank, but the massive amounts of B2s and rockets going out, really ripping that apart. Excellent stuff. Let's go with the infantry first so they can move a little more independently and therefore quicker. This is the same map as a previous one we fought on. I forget exactly which planet it is, so we do know there's some more build paths to be taken over here for us. Focus these, actually take on that gun over there. Move on to destroy over here, thank you. Lost some sort of unit, that'll probably be a GAT, rather nicely. There we go, let's destroy these turrets. Move on up over here, thank you. Take this build pad. Focus over here with the B2s. Get our GATs onto these tanks, thank you. And where are our dwarf spiders? They can certainly deal with these a bit more as well. Try and move up a bit over here so we can actually take this point. See yet another group of walkers coming in though. Where's our hero? Don't really want to lose him. Does get a sensor ping, which is rather interesting. Where do we didn't actually scout where the power generator would be, which would have been a good idea. As we can see, there's a shield about. Let's move down, try and get some build pads going. We'll get some more light artillery, I think, going. And More infantry never hurts. Move up with this light artillery, I think, behind the turret there.
Turret constructing.
And what we'll do is we'll get back to healing station going first. Move up to that. Unload here. Okay, I think we're doing fine with that. We've just changed 2 concussive missiles there to help out with this infantry. See the hypervelocity cannon over here. Deal with this. And I think we're done with that, so we're going to turn it to a repair station, which is probably a bit more important for us at the moment. We have infantry for days. Let's push on up over here.
Ready. Advance. Move out. Yes, sir.
Actually, our gats are looking pretty damn decent there. Move over here.
Wow, we really killed them.
Lovely stuff. Very slow, methodical advance, but that's the way to go. See some more warpers actually. Now these are the Hulk droids there. And a turbo laser tower. We forgot about that, so we definitely do need to find the power generator. Our artillery can certainly help with that. Try and deal with that. Do we have a fire at ground button? I don't believe we do, which is rather a shame. We don't have the pop cap to bring down any source of scouts. So we're just going to go forwards, hoping we find this generator. Don't want to think it's in the base over here. No sign of it there. That's another turbo laser tower. But they're not so good against infantry there. We get the support of that cannon there. Excellent. There is an anti-infantry gun there, but we do have overwhelming firepower. Excellent. Let's move up on this side then.
Yes. Moving to area.
And we're done with everything here, so let's move up once again. Let's use another sensor ping. No sign of that power generator. Where could you be? Where could you be? Oh, that's behind the shield actually. It's a very nice sound that shield makes, of course. That's the only reason you get these things. There's the power generator. We'll certainly focus that down. Bring these back. Bring up dwarf spiders. Yeah, we need to run away from that anti-vehicle gun. Focus this down. Probably have brought in a bombing run for that. Let's get behind the shield. Deal with this anti-tank gun. Are we not dealing with it? Come on. Come on. That's rather silly. There we go. Another anti-infantry gun there, unfortunately. We're going to have to pull back in just a second. Let's capture this and make it back to healing station. Now we can actually bombard the area. Let's reload that. It's not quite happening just yet for some reason, but we can call it a bombing run either way. Excellent stuff. That means this is now open. We can deal with the hypervelocity cannon. Here comes the bombing run. Actually, we're dealing with that as it is. Interesting. Let's move up. Watch the bombing run. Make sure we're dealing with this infantry. And that's the barracks down, or the senator's office actually providing the garrison. Excellent. Let's move up with everything here then. And support. Come back, heal with our B2s. Lovely stuff. And that's another anti-infantry gun. You see an anti-vehicle gun, so just pull back here a tad. Because we are at risk of losing these gats. Like I said, we can't actually build those anymore, sadly. Now we're able to bombard. So we'll just do that to speed things along. Do with the power generator. There we go, lovely stuff. And this should be it for Deconemoidia. Excellent stuff. So that's a potential dreadnought tier shipyard captured. Excellent stuff. We did lose just a couple infantry squads, but like I said, we get those for days. It's really not a problem. Let's move back to Onderon and Cola 4 as well and get everything started here. Excellent. And that's freed up Case of Nemoidia a little bit more. Excellent stuff. What exactly do we have on here? Heavy and barracks. I think we might want to go for some turbo lasers ourselves. And we will get, I think, another heavy factory there to get the bonuses from multiple factories there. Brilliant. Let's come down here. And we want, I think, let's go for some light factories there. Get our frigate shipyard up. I think we were missing one, yeah, missing one on Malister, and we're finally going to go for the at least Bulwark 1s first. We go for the 1s first because they will be cheaper later on, and we do get that hero that comes with them, which is excellent. So that gives us a potentially new fleet over there, which is great. Let's join our forces up over here because we have finished constructing here. Did not mean to double click that, so let's get going. And they can come round to join this fleet here. What's in here exactly? Come on, game. Okay, just a few minor ships there.
On my way, Commander.
And what we'll do is, while we're waiting, just build a couple more larger ships there for ourselves. And they can actually go for Sally Kamai to open that up, and maybe Jaeger as well, so we get a straight line down. Easy access down here. Digit Beam have... Yes, it certainly does. Excellent. What do we have on Belderon? I don't think we have a tax collection agency over here, so we're going to take that. And we're going to take a heavy vehicle factory. New mission for ourselves. What do we have? Increasing production. Build 3 heavy factories, and we get a recusant class light destroyer. 2 of. And we're already in the works for doing that, so that's excellent. Let's scout over here once again, so we know what's going on. And get on top of building everything over here. Let's get some light factories out here. And we will want a tax collection agency later on, I think. Actually, let's get that now, while we think about it. We have our probe droid over here. We have already done the strength and defences, which is excellent. This is the increased production for Bulwark 2s. We have a Mustafar, wasn't it? Did it say? Interesting. Is that just a new one? Quite likely. Okay. We're going to put this down here. Let's scout Devon. Basically nothing. Actually, very basically nothing. Let's get on top of that very quickly. Just make sure we're coming in with the correct units first. And that would be an easy takeover. Very, very easy indeed.
Construction complete. Construction complete.
Construction complete.
Hostile detected.
And it's just that easy. So we're going to reinforce Denon again because we did take our ground forces from there, which is excellent. So we're going to get the usual setup done. And we have finished our research for bulwarks, which will give us a new capital ship to look at in the future. We have Juaninga, who does command a Bulwark 1 over Mandalore here, which is excellent. So he has also come with 1 bulwark extra himself. I'm thinking he could just lead this particular fleet over here, and that'll be quite the nasty force. We might want to take that over to Orchestra to take that in the future, as well as Argonaut over there and the usual suspects. So we might try that instantly to try and get that out. Let's do that. Enemy going for Dathomir. I forget where that is, but we're about to find out. Where is that? Ooh, that might be a test for our new fleet then. So that's a fleet commander. Actually, that's a massive, massive fleet. So we might need a little more than this new fleet's out, which is rather a shame. There's not much we can do about this, unfortunately, at the moment then. So we are going to auto-resolve through that one. It lost a fleet commander though, so that's something actually. That's rather massive since it was an invincible class dreadnought. Let's have a look over that again. Okay, so this is a Venator and this is another Venator. So on top of the extra couple there, that's 4 Venators in total. They actually have a Praetor there as well. That's rather scary. We're going to have to pit this off piece by piece, unfortunately, and try and get that actually on a defense. So what do we have on Mandalore? We have turbo lasers. Might want to remove the turbo lasers for now. No, keep the turbo lasers. We get rid of the light factory and replace that with an ion cannon. I think bring this fleet back over here. Might even bring General Grievous over there as well, and make some sort of fleet down here to preserve that, as well as this to come in and help out. Because that's going to be a tough ask with that Praetor about, and the ion cannon will certainly help out. Not much we can do when we're paused though, is there? So let's do that. And we'll get General Grievous to fight his way back there as well, I think. Just make sure the game catches up. It's been rather slow today. I do apologise. There we go. Let's bring this in properly. Get a Colovex to start with. Mandalore. Loading new units out of nowhere. Interesting.
Construction complete.
Bring this down. Grievous can come back over to Onderon. We'll fight our way through to quarter 6 then. Get over here, get some bases up. Let's go for the basic defences. Get a pirate station up actually as well, I think. And I think we're going for extra lights there. Excellent. That'll do fine. Actually, go for a second barracks. Case Nemoidia does need help as well. So what we'll do is we'll start making a fleet there, because that'll be the best defence. It has been very slow today. Don't have a station there, which is rather interesting. Okay. Let's make sure we're doing that on Deveron as well.
Beginning construction.
And we'll go for a couple of forward heavy factories there. Excellent stuff. So that's that pocket finally closed up. We will have to worry about Naboo and such still, unfortunately. Bring over here. Actually, might want to use this for making some bulwarks of our own still. Let's go for the bulwark research over here, the second part. So that'll be 15,000 because we do have the money in the bank there. We'll go over to Sullust. And actually we might want to bring ourselves over to Denon and such so we can start building things properly. Sounds like a good idea to me. Let's bring him all the way over here.
Moving out.
So they've actually decided to leave Dathomir. Very interesting indeed. We're going to have to scout that out then, aren't we? We're certainly going to have to scout that out.
Constructing unit.
We'll get some more defences on Dathomir as well.
Beginning construction.
After the mining facility, of course. We need a barracks there.
Building under construction. Construction complete.
What's this? Increasing production has been done. Recusants on Cola 4. Excellent. That is fairly close. In fact, it's back over here. We'll reinforce Grievous there. So where did they go? Is it Weyland or Orchestus? Can't have gone too far.
Construction complete.
Okay, so we can pick that apart there on Weyland. Do they have anything massive? They do actually have an A6 over here to watch out for, so we're going to have to take that on as quickly as possible. Some rather nasty units actually, horrible piece of artillery, and some A5R6s which will be nasty as well. But they don't have any hypervelocity cannons, so I'm fairly confident we can take this on actually. As we stand, absolutely we can. Just look at the numbers there. Just wondering about main pieces. Yeah, we'll be absolutely fine. Let's just double check what we've got on Orchestus before we go in. But before we can do that, we have already been attacked on Denon, the enemy spotting our weakness. So that's absolutely fine. It's 5 Venators. We are going to auto-resolve through that and just quickly counter-initiate with this fleet over here. It's absolutely fine. We can do that. Looks like the enemy fleet has left Weyland and probably gone over here to Orchestus. Oh no, they're building something up there. That's interesting. We're going to destroy the space over Weyland there, then bring Grievous up to help out. But we need to do this battle over Denon first. So, can't let this enemy get away. That's a lovely amount of juicy, juicy Venators. So we're going to go right in their face here. Lovely stuff. Soak up the damage there. Bring back our hero and such. Come even further back with our carriers, because they'll certainly be needed. The Venators do, of course, double up as carriers. That is their main purpose. Come over here with the Providence, get a few more larger ships. I don't think we really need to focus on frigates with this particular battle. I think it'd be fine otherwise there, but it will bring in some point defense here and some Gazantes to help us out. Would be brilliant, I think. They can really hurt the Venators. Lovely stuff. We're already in range with these. Excellent. So let's focus one Venator at a time. That is getting ripped apart. Come over here. Lovely stuff. Absolutely ripping that apart. You can see it's some... what is this? Nice assault cruiser going in there. Not a problem. Not a problem. We'll deal with that very quickly. One Venator down. On to the next. We already see the enemy fighters and such out. Let's try and focus their bombers where we can. Get our own bombers onto the back Venators over here. I think we'll start focusing the second Venator, get full salvos out here, really rip that down. Over here, too many hard points to keep track of over here by the looks of things. Let's try and focus some engines since they are retreating. Rather nasty. Guess on that, come on. Excellent stuff, so nothing shall escape there, and that is effectively very, very nasty making of a horrible fleets there dealt with. But we do need to go back to Weyland and really sort that out, because that's they're not too sure what they want to do there, but they are absolutely starting to make a disgusting fleet themselves there. That's going to be interesting. There's a lot of frigates there. There's a lot of frigates. I'm sure we'll be fine. Let's get going. Make sure we are going in with one particular ship. Let's go in. We'll check the mission log in just a minute. So, how do we want to deploy? That's a lot of ships to get rid of. That's a lot of ships. What pop cap are the bulwarks? 16. Interesting. I think we could certainly come in with a couple of these. We come from this one side over here. We'll start over here. Come at a bit of a range. We'll certainly come in Duoningo. We are absolutely going to need some sort of carriers, aren't we?
Analyzing failure.
Come back over here.
More droids gives them nothing to fight.
Let's mix up our formation here. And we'll come in with a lot of point defense. What else do we want? Colovex is a pretty damn decent for point defense. And they'll start hurting the enemy's frigates and corvettes and such as well, quite well. Don't want too many missile focused ships, unfortunately. So these Kalos are quite good for that because they do have lasers. So they'll certainly hunt down the enemy corvettes there. Couple more larger ships to help us out here. And we want some heavy cruisers, I think, to sit back on the flanks. So this is the numbers game today by the sounds of it. Let's get in. Let's get in. Excellent stuff. Let's rip apart these heavy cruisers as quickly as possible, please. So do not like them. Duoningo does not, unfortunately, come with any abilities, which is a shame. Dealt with one acclimator already. Lovely. Let's deal with the pelters, actually. So they'll be providing some nasty stuff. Stop our own ships there. Stop our own fighters. Ripping through these acclimators, which is excellent. So let's get onto this Arquitans here. Looks like they're taking on our own corvettes and such, but not to worry there. Can certainly replace them. And the bulwarks, as the name suggests, very, very nice tanky ship. Let's move forwards over here, get into range, deal with a few more of their own hangars and such. How are we looking for damage? Nothing too bad at the moment. Let's get these Providences to fire, I think, onto this Carrack over here. Gets a full broadside off. Looks like this Recusant is taking a lot of damage, but not to worry. Try and get on over here. Destroy these pelters and the frigates. Yeah, get on those actually, because that's dealing quite a fair number. We have lost a ship or two, but not to worry. Maybe some more over here. Yeah, it's not to worry. Oh, that Providence isn't looking good at all. Not looking good at all. Try and deal with the pelters. Yeah, there we go. We deal with this one, the carrot. Yeah, there's a recusant gone. We can bring in another. I'll bring another of those. We have lost a lot of corvettes, unfortunately. Need to start dealing with their actual damage-dealing ships here, because that is rather nasty. Looks like they have a pelter. Let's pause here to see which pelter is providing this healing. It is actually this one. That's very well guessed there. Bombers and such aren't going to do too much with all of these lighter ships about, unfortunately. Deal with this Carrack. Deal with the pelter there. Do they have another one? Quite likely it's just over here. Rather unfortunate. It's really hurting our own DPS, all this healing they get. Rather selfish of them, actually. It looks like they're getting out of range of that, though, so let's start dealing with these. Yeah, there we go. Lovely stuff. Got so many of them, though. Start dealing with these corvettes. And that'll let our fighters and bombers come in a little easier. Don't think half of our ships are actually firing too well. There we go, we are breaking through though, we're absolutely breaking through. It's just a question of how many of those bombers get through there. Taking a bit of damage over here though. Let's try and deal with this. They are finally retreating though, that's excellent. Massive amounts of corvettes in that fight, and a lot of those pelters. But we have dealt with the bulk of their fleets, and that means we don't actually need to go into this defensive station. Not that that's much of a bother there. But it's whittling them down. What are our own losses though? That's going to be interesting. It's going to be a lot of corvettes. A lot of corvettes and frigates. But nothing we can't replace too hard there. Unfortunately did lose a Providence, but all these Kaloth battlecruisers did go down, unfortunately. But I think it's a fair trade for all of these ships. Over 5 Acclamator 2s and some Acclamator Assaults, which is absolutely brilliant to get rid of. And all of these Corellian Corvettes, while they're cheap, they do build up very quickly because of that. They do pack quite the punch in large groups, as we've just seen there. So, having said that, I think we're going to pull back to Mandalore for now. Let's have a look at our missions. We need to build a barracks for an action tender. That's rather interesting. Can certainly build a barracks somewhere. We want one over here. We've actually got one queued, so that's not a problem. Orchestus might be the next target there. They don't have a hypervelocity cannon. I want to make sure they don't build up too much there, of course, because that can go into Yavin 4. Want to, I think, scout out Quarter 6 as well. Not necessarily a bad idea there at all. Really want to know where that Praetor's gone, of course.
Beginning construction.
Actually, we'll wait on that. Save a bit of money. Bring up over here. Get our defences going. What actually is garrisoning here? Bugger all. So we need some large things over here, I think. I really want to get some use out of these gunships as well. So with the Viceroy over here, we're just going to save a bit of money and actually get this dreadnaught shipyard up, and we're going to get our Golan up. We have that barracks complete, Talsi, and that's on. We'll have a look at that in a minute. Can we fit any more garrisons here? No, we can't. That's absolutely fine. That saves us a job. Double check the buildings. Yeah, we're doing what we can there. Excellent stuff. So let's bring the Viceroy back down here. He's no longer needed. What can we get in the space station over here? More defences, never hurts, of course. Bring him down to Denon. She probably should have used him to build something over here, but not to worry. We have a fair bit of money on us actually, which is excellent. Looks like we need to get going with space over here completely, because we did lose that, didn't we?
Construction.
That's all good. We have influence of 6, and we have 500 income there, so a tax agency would be excellent. What else could we fit on here? I think, a couple heavy factories. We get one there, and actually we'll get the light, because we have heavies on Devon as well, don't we?
Building under construction.
Come back to Tinner with him.
Construction complete.
Excellent stuff. So we're finally getting a semblance of some defence in the core over here.
Construction.
We have, yeah, that's absolutely fine. It's coming up a few times, that, isn't it? What we'll do over here is get another...
Constructing.
Then, what is going on in Karima there? That was interesting blip. That was a very interesting blip. That tells me we need some
Unit in production.
defensive units.
Vehicle in production.
We don't actually have a space station there, so that's what's hurting us. Let's come down to defend that quickly. And while we're doing that, we'll send our scout over to Quarter 6, shall we? They're still building on Weyland, so they've reproduced over there very quickly. Nothing on Quarter 6, interesting. We've just found... That was a very lucky spot. That was a very, very lucky spot. Look at what we've just found trying to invade Karima. Oh, but unfortunately... we might actually, if we come in with the Omni, that does have access to the gravity well mines. So we're going to go in and do this manually, deploy those mines, and that will stop the enemy from retreating. And of course, for some reason, no, we're not coming in deployed properly, but luckily we have come in with an Omni, so we're instantly deploying the interdiction mines there. And we just need to wait for our fighters and bombers to come up, and they'll rip apart this lovely, lovely ground unit here, grounder force. Let's move in there, might as well move in with a few things. It's not going to hurt, really not going to hurt. There we go, here come our fighters and bombers. Move in, attack orders for all of them. Attack move orders, excellent. And this should be a complete walkover. Complete walkover. Just make sure those interdiction mines stay up, of course. I don't see why the enemy will be able to get rid of those. It's actually getting to the point where the enemy's gone into the asteroids, they're far too small to spot, so just some random hunt orders here and such will do the job. It's very rare it gets to use these hunt orders effectively. You can see one little landing ship there just popping, looks like we've only got a couple left there. Very, very minute ships to watch out for. Tiniest health bars, there's one. Should just have the one over here then. Look at that. Oh, it's so good to be able to get rid of a ground force this massive so easily, but that does mean we need to draw our attention next, I think, over to the Geonosian pocket. Very lucky they didn't go for Geonosis itself, actually. Although it is fairly well defended, we wouldn't have been able to hold up to a massive determined force there. So this should set the enemy back a fair bit while we look at that. Look at all these ATOTs, the Bark Speeders, UT-80s, AT-PTs as well. Absolutely disgusting force there. Very expensive walkers there to get rid of. So the next thing to do then on the next few offensives is actually to at least take Christophsis, Rhodia and Tatooine. We do of course, like I say, have Geonosis, but that's not going to be able to hold off by itself as it stands, unfortunately. Very, very sad to say that, actually. We will get out, I think. Is it just barracks we've got over here? It is. We'll get a light vehicle factory there. Can build pretty much everything we want on Geonosis. So we'll shore up our defences around here, and I think over the next few episodes we'll look at that. I think we'll try and get in one more engagement, so that might have to be over here at Weyland, actually. Which force would be best for destroying that? The Duoningo force, maybe? That is a tough ask, actually. That's a very tough ask. I think Grievous might be the best for that, actually. We do have the most ship-to-ship combat style there. So, Move over to quarter 6 and fight our way through to Weyland once again.
Complete.
So that's going up and down, like no one's business. Might even catch something here. Course of Venice or so, let's do this very quickly. So no time to waste, straight on to Weyland here. This might have to be another pick apart and retreat where we can, unfortunately. But there's a lot of venisons and victories here. Actually, victory 2 is very scary indeed. Let's see if we can win this, fingers crossed though. So we are absolutely going to come in with Grievous first, but at some sort of range there. Bring him in over here so we focus on one part of the enemy there. Only bringing the one Providence to begin with, and of course come in with what ship-to-ship frigates we can do. These will also bring in some fighters and bombers, but we will want to bring in our own carriers, of course. Bring these in at the flank, and we want our own frigate destroyers. No, it is largely capital ships. So just come in with the biggest artist bastards we can. And that's only the extra one there. So we are going to come in with some point defense where possible, because the enemy will have no shortage of fighters themselves. And that'll do for now.
At maximum.
So it's not the most impressive looking fleet here, but we do have some big R bastards. Let's focus that Acclimator, get on the victory with Grievous, I think, and the Providence here, which is taking a battering already. Probably brought us in a little too close here. Rather unlucky. Grievous is moving rather than fighting. Don't like that at all. Let's deal with the Venator there. Start on to the victory there, because that will do a lot of damage there. A lot of damage. Providence taking a battering as well and turning into the most Scottish of Mars bars. Seeing a lot of lag though, rather sad, but we'll focus this victory once again. Just press stop here so that we're not moving and focus dual turbo laser cannons there. Rather ashamed to see the end of this Providence, but you're going to start losing ships in these massive engagements, of course. Can't keep hold of everything. I might want to just stay at a greater range. Let's go for the turbo lasers once again. We're going to lose this Providence, not to worry. It's pulled back, I think, with our carriers. Grievous is absolutely going to carry this battle for us. Go for the fighter bay there. We're able to bring in reinforcements. We're going to bring in, I think, what do we want to bring in? More recusants, I think. Focus things over here. Try and rip apart the enemy's own weapons. Pick those apart where we can. Get onto here, having said that then. Let's deal with this frigate there. Turbo laser needs to come down. Let's see. Turbo lasers on here as well, I think, really. There we go. Let's deal with this victory. Focus that. Don't necessarily need to destroy ships outright, so long as we can just wipe out a few of their hard points. It will, of course, still ruin their offensive capabilities. The shields are down over here, so let's deal with that. Can't see any of our own fighters. We've not won that battle whatsoever. That is a shame. That's one more victory down. Let's focus on this one then. Not seeing Grievous's ion cannons firing us, unfortunately. Probably the one of the largest space battles we've had, actually. Is the closest thing we've had to a real capital ship brawl. We may have to pull out though to, you know, stop our losses so much, which is something I don't like to do at all. Get rid of those heavy dual table lasers. How are we doing over here? Try and focus something. Let's get this Venator down. Go for the dual turbo lasers once again, and again, and again. It's just picking things apart. You really need to do the micro game sometimes. Running out of larger ships to bring in though, unfortunately. So we might actually just have to retreat to preserve those escorts there, unfortunately. So we'll just take on a few more Venators where possible. You know what? From my memory, this is actually pretty much it. So I might want to actually just pull back here with the rest of things and let Grievous take care of everything. Which is sad to see. Heavy losses on both sides here, but if we can come out on top, it will really discourage the Republic to, you know, just stop stop invading us quite so frequently. Because I'm really fed up of it. Let's get this victory. Starting to lose our shields with Grievous. Rather a shame. Let's come back over here with just one ship. What is firing at that? It looks like this acclimator actually. Don't really have the guns over here to deal with that, unfortunately. There we go though. That is absolutely brilliant on that victory. Let's deal with that engine. Finish off this Venator, and you know what? That's pretty much it. I'm so glad the Subjugator's shield's held up quite a lot. Gonna deal with the engines here, because they are now retreating, and that's excellent. Deal with the engines on the Acclimator. And that is a very rough victory, very, very rough, Pyrrhic victory there. But I'll absolutely take it. I think Subjugators are certainly the way to go. We need a massive centrepiece for our fleets there, because look at our losses. A Providence, 2 Recusants, 2 Munificents, and a whole load of frigates and corvettes there. So, you know, still, we buy Munificents and Recusants, you know, 10 a penny as far as it's going. Providences we do need to get on top of. We've been neglecting those. But, I mean, again, 6 victories, 6 Venators, 2 Acclimators. I'd say that's a fairly decent trade if you ask me. And with that being said, guys, that is all we have time for today, unfortunately. So we did manage our goals, very quickly took over Deconemoidia, closing this pocket as much as we can. We'll certainly need to close up Kashyyyk and Bara at least, retake Bara, and that sorts out their flanks. But we need to make sure we have a good reactive response fleet now, don't we, to cover these 4 planets. So that'll be a job for the next video, of course, and we do have the pop cap now to do so, which is excellent. And we do have a flagship here with the Lucrehog, excellently. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed the video. Please do leave any feedback in the comments section. It's always absolutely brilliant to read those, very, very helpful indeed. It's great to see you guys enjoying this series. But I shall have to see you in the future. May all of your nights and days be auspicious. Goodbye.